respiratory volume in 1 second, 75% predicted, FEV1 over FVC, 65%, and an increase in FEV1 of 220 milliliters or 14% of following an inhaled short-acting bronchodilator. He was placed on a low-dose inhaled corticosteroid twice a day and a short-acting inhaled beta agonist as needed. His review of symptoms is otherwise unremarkable. So his past medical history is significant for intermittent asthma diagnosed at age 13 and frequent colds. He has never required hospitalization for an asthma exacerbation. He works as a hospital microbiologist and does not smoke, drink alcohol, or use illicit drugs. He recently moved to a pet-free apartment complex and instituted dust mite protective barriers for his bedding, and his family history is non-contributory. So for our first question, let's start with differentiate inspiration from expiration. So who wants to start? Okay, Joffer, what can you say about the first question?
Hello, hello. Can I be heard? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello? Marunong lang ako?
Yes,
Hello?
Jopper.
Hello? Okay. So inspiration is drawing air into the lungs. Expiration is expelling it. Inspiration is active, meaning it requires energy, and then expiration is usually passive unless we forcefully expirate, and then that's when it becomes active. And then the muscles involved in inspiration, there's the primary muscle, which is the diaphragm, then some accessory muscles, which are used during deep inspiration, which are the external intercostal muscles, and some other muscles, including the sternocleidomastoid, scalene, and serratus anterior for the inspiration. While for expiration, chest wall, the recoil of the lungs and the chest wall, when the inspiratory muscles relax. And during forced expiration, that's when the abdominal muscles are used and the internal intercostals.
So since nag-start naman ta for the mechanics of pulmonary ventilation, let's proceed na. Are you done with your part? You're still raising. Are you done? Sige, go. So next, let's talk about na the pressures that cause the movement of air in and out of the lungs. Anyone wants to give their opinion on this or like ilang info so may bawaan about this? Okay, Nika?
So, let's first talk about the basic measures of the lung volumes and its capacities. So, Doc mentioned yesterday in the lecture that the basic measure of lung volumes and capacities are generally essential so that we can understand as physicians or clinicians the different mechanical functions of our lungs. And aside from that, we can also base from there the overall efficiency of our ventilation. So those measurements that these measurements that I'm about to mention will reflect how much our lungs can hold air, or as what Lizette said that it can measure how much can be moved in and out during breathing and how effectively gas exchange will occur. So they are significant because they will help our lungs determine its elasticity, as well as it will determine the respiratory muscles strength and the balance between our lungs and chest wall expansion. So clinically, they are vital in distinguishing between the obstructive and the restrictive pulmonary diseases. So as we go on this case vignette, we will be learning about those. And then we will be assessing the severity of airflow limitation and then monitoring the progression or improvement of our respiratory conditions, such as asthma or the COPD. So, in short, these these measuring measures will be basis of the fundamental evaluation of our normal respiratory physiology and will be used to identify the pathophysiological alterations in our breathing. So let's first discuss the pulmonary volumes. So under this are the tidal volume, the inspiratory reserve volume, the expiratory reserve volume, and lastly, the residual volume. So I'm going to talk about this one by one and then later on discuss how this will change in times of asthma. So first, let's talk about the tidal volume. So this is about the volume of air inspired or expired during a normal breath. And then for adults, the normal value is 500 ml, and the tidal volume represents the quiet breathing. Next, for the inspiratory reserve volume, or it is also called as the IRV, it is the extra volume that can be inspired above the tidal volume. And its normal adult value is approximately 3000 ml. This also reflects the inspiratory effort of the person. Next, we have the ERV or the expiratory reserve volume. And this is the extra volume that can be expired after a normal expiration, which is approximately 1100 ml. And the ERV, will depend on the strength of our expiratory muscles and lung recoil. Lastly, we have this residual volume or the RV, and it is the air remaining in our lungs after the maximal expiration. Approximately, the adult value would be 1200 ml, and this prevents the alveolar collapse. So, it is very important to know these pulmonary volumes because these are used when uh, solving or computing for the pulmonary capacitance. Now, let's move on to the capacitance. So basically, these are just combinations of the pulmonary volumes, such as the first one is the inspiratory capacity or the IC. And then we have the functional residual capacity or the FRC and the vital capacity or the VC. And lastly, the total lung capacity or the TLC. So let's talk about the inspiratory capacity, which is basically the sum of um the tidal volume and the inspiratory reserve volume. And this is the maximum air that can be inspired after normal expiration. So from this we can infer that the tidal volume and the inspiratory reserve volume are both for inspiration. Next, we have this functional residual capacity or the FRC. And this is basically the addition of the expiratory reserve volume and the residual volume. And the normal value of this is around 2,300. And this is the air remaining in lungs after normal expiration. So it is just basically the opposite of the inspiratory capacity, which is used for expiration. Next, we have the vital capacity, which is also called as the VC. And this is the sum of those three values, which are the IRV, the TV, the tidal volume, and the ERV, which is the um, expiratory reserve, reserve volume. And basically, it is approximately 4,600 ml in value. And this is the maximum air that can be expelled after a full inspiration. So moving on, we have the total lung capacity. So in from its name total, it basically is the sum of all the volumes, which is approximately 5,800 ml in value, and it is yes the total air that the lungs can hold. So the second question is about how does these change in asthma. So one by one, they are different, but they are precursors to one another since the capacitance are derived from the volumes. So first, the tidal volume in asthma will be slightly decreased or sometimes normal because the breathing becomes shallow due to airway narrowing. Next, the IRV will be decreased in asthma since the lungs are already hyperinflated, which will leave lesser room for the extra inspiration. Next is the ERV will be decreased as well because the expiration is difficult due to airway obstruction and air trapping. So for the capacity, for the residual volume pa di ay kay Sierra ang increased, I think, yeah, in asthma because there will be air trapping from the incomplete expiration, which leaves more air inside the lungs. For the functional residual capacity or the FRC, it will be increased due to the increased residual volume, katok nga mentioned ganina, and then the lungs will remain partially inflated. For the vital capacity, it will be decreased in case of asthma because the residual value increases, so its expiratory flow will be limited. And lastly, for the total lung capacity, it will be slightly increased or sometimes normal because of the lung hyperinflation, especially if the asthma is already chronic. I guess that's all for me, Liz.
Okay, so I think you basically answered everything na for number two. So, since naman to sa two, let's go back na lang to those parts of learning outcomes that we haven't talked of later na lang. So, we'll proceed na lang with our next next, about the spirometry, which is the recording of volume the recording changes in pulmonary volume. So anyone who wants to talk about normal na spirometry, at the same time, mga spirometric abnormalities?
Trying
Okay, go shy.
share. I'll just add na lang or further illustrate what Nick said para kind of um illustration and kind of clearer for yeah, just to supplement what Nick's discussed a while ago. So, wait, share. Just share screen. Hopefully the host can share his screen. Make a share screen.
Yeah, who's
Like,
allow.
you know, kailangan mag-illustration. No. Um,
So share the console.
They said ka share screen sa mga right. So, with ang spirogram ang God, it needs illustration. Also, pati ang even like the difference between the
Well, white
obstructive versus try sa whiteboard. Okay, whiteboard.
yeah, I think, yeah, yeah. Funny.
Okay. Mm,
The whiteboard do
uh, yeah, I'll try. I will do. Oh, can I paste something here?
Yeah, try that. Yeah, you can.
Um,
You get upload.
mm, okay. Ano lang ang picture? na ninyo ang picture or what?
Visible na ang picture.
Ano na lang? Wow, spasi. Wait, wala lang. Okay, so just to this one guys, this is a search found this from the internet and I searched like empty like use na siya sa mga exams because like for us to correctly label. I practice on the labeling of a normal spirogram. So application of what Nick's discussed a while ago. So first is sige. Alright. So start so this is a spirogram and itong base sa giingon ni next. So asa man ni para ninyo here, what letter man ang tidal volume? It would be letter any B. Yes, B. So this is the tidal volume. So it is the normal the normal amount of air that is expired or inspired during normal breathing. So quiet breathing. So kadto siya 500 ml. And now, how about the inspiratory reserve volume? What letter would it be? It would be letter A, right? So kani siya inspiratory reserve volume. So it is the additional amount of air that can be um, forcefully inspired after normal inspiration. So kanang deep breathing na to guys like mao na siya ang inspiratory reserve volume and it's based ra ni siya based on the demographic of a normal male ni siya. Okay, so it would be 3,000 ml or 3 liters ang inspiratory reserve volume. And as for the opposite, so this one, the letter C, kani siya this is the expiratory reserve volume. So kanang force it would be the additional amount of air that is expired forcefully after a normal expiration. So kanang forceful nato na exhale na kanang need na nato og maahimo na siya active, it would need accessory muscles already, so that would be expiratory reserve volume, and it is 1,000. Normal is 1,100 ml, and this one, the remaining kanisha, just because it's not really empty, but this is the residual volume. So it normal for a average male is 1,200 ml. Now residual volume it's the amount or the volume of air that remains in the lungs after a forceful expiration. So forceful expiration na siya. After forceful expiration. So based on what I emphasize on what Nick said, para ninyo, can anybody answer or just anyone among all these volumes, what is the one responsible for the prevention of lung collapse? Anyone? So yeah. If maybe others are just shy, pero yasak you're right. Residual volume, kani siya guys. So residual volume is the one responsible since that is the remaining volume remaining volume in our lungs. And also, if you're asked what is what measure of volume cannot be what volume cannot be measured by spirometry, so it would still be RV, residual volume, because it is the air man remaining in our lungs. No matter how we forcefully exhale or expire, there will still be a amount of air inside our lungs, inside our alveolar sac. So that would be the residual volume, and really, it can't be measured by spirometry. Can't be measured by spirometry. So, kana siya. And then, katugingan, next just want to ano na lang, so kani siya. So IRV plus TV, this whole IRV, so that is the inspiratory capacity. And then the F would be the functional reserve capacity. And the G, oh, this one, Canisia, that would be the vital capacity. So that is IRV plus TV plus ERV. And then this one as a whole, Kanisha as a whole, even including the RV, that would be the total lung capacity. And I just want to ano na lang, like highlight really the different, let's be careful of the differences of each, especially on what's given by Guyton, guys. Medyo like I think I advise to like scrutinize good like the meanings, like for example the IC and the VC compared to IRV and ERV, because in IRV and ERV it is normal inspiration, and for the ERV it is normal expiration, after normal expiration. However, for IC and FRC, guys, uh both is measured after normal expiration is sila both, si IC and FRC. And RV, so si RV ganyan, as what I've said a while ago, it is after forceful expiration, so pwede like parang wala lang, like if you want to be more like accurate, diba? Maybe it will come up in the exam and they will switch the meanings or the words itself. So we can easily pinpoint what's really the correct meaning or definition na siya. And also TLC, it is the amount of air, the maximum amount of air that the lungs can contain or hold. So kanang anta like kanang atli hold ato lang sa like you're doing the maximal effort of inspiration, and then you hold that to your maximal to as much as you can. So that is your TLC, and it is the highest because it's a total of everything. And VC, so VC, guys, maximal it is the amount of air or volume of air that you can maximally expire after maximal inspiration. So, after ni siya kay force inspiration. Kani ang VC ako ilhanan na ni guys kay maximal ni siya. Para sa tanan ang maximal, then maximal na pod, maximal inspiration, maximal expiration. Pero iya gyud yan measure kay ang expiration gyud, pero both sila maximal na siya. And ano siya ang kanang ang VC kay marag ako pag ana here like illustrate ka nang meditation na to kadok so la like grabe na breathing and then exhale na grabe po so kana siya. Pero ako mo na ako ma-illustrate sa VC katong sa vital capacity na to kana siya. And then also with that let's go to ng abnormalities sa ng results in these volumes of how the lung diseases, pathologies would affect the volumes and unsa siya in return sa ratio. So speaking of ratio, I'll be talking about FEV1, um, FEV1 and forced vital capacity as well. So FEV1, so this is just the forced expiratory volume. 1 stands for after 1 second. So yeah. So this is measured forced siya na expiration. So for example, there's a patient and naka-hook, naka-ano na yung mouth connected na sa mouthpiece sa spirometer. So the healthcare worker, I don't know who does that, or I'm not sure if I'm respiratory technicians from Magduana, or I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong na lang. So those healthcare workers, they would tell the patient na kanang sige kanang forcefully exhale. Then i-measure na dayon na sa there may be a machine that's hooked there, and then the amount of air that is expired on that 1 second, that's the FEV1. And both of these guys, Kanisha and this one, FEV1 and FVC, these are forceful expirations. So, and then another thing that I would like to highlight also is other sa internet sources and even I don't know references, other references. There's a but like say
May copy ka siya.
needs to make up a important ratio.
I think nag-con ka. Happy ang imong internet na.
Nag-cut off good.
Yeah.
I-off na lang sa imong
Imong
I lost my camera. Is it better? No. No. Is it better?
yeah.
Okay na guys, or cut off gyapon. I turned off my video ay camera na.
Okay na siya.
Okay, thank you. So kana guys, so let's dissect na sa between obstructive and restrictive. So obstructive versus restrictive. So obstructive alodas ako agi pero yeah, sorry. So ano siya? From the itself, obstructive and restrictive. What's the problem between these 2 months? Obstructive, is it the problem? Is it the expiration or inspiration? So it would be the expiration. Expiration. So expiration is expiration would be hard or difficult, no ang problem. And in restrictive, it would be the inspiration or eto na lang, inhalation. Sorry, intrusive po. Okay, wala siya. So, that's the problem. Both problem is differentiate these two. So, for obstructive mga guys, for example, COPD. So, good example would be COPD. So, what happens is that puntahan na alveoli there, alveolus ni happens manggod is there will be air will be trapped here because in COPDs prone og collapse, alveolar collapse ang those alveoli distal to like maybe the point of like naangat to ang grabe kayo na consent like pathology or what. So, mag-collapse there. So, air will be trapped. So, instead na, like, go na siya there, kuan, ang air would just, like, encircle always here. Pwede, like, dili siya ka go out, siya ka exhale, di siya ka exhale. So, it needs, for COPD patients, they need more time, they need longer time to exhale, like everything. And then with that, because of this, from this alone, magets na nato na, since there's like air trapping inside, then the RV would be increase ang RV because RV, right, is the residual volume on the alveoli. So, increase. And also, guys, there will also be hyperinflation. Like, kung big ni siya ang ang mga alveolar, so there will be hyperinflation. So, yes, hyperinflation. And with that, nang there will also be unsa man, what will be the effect of this man sa IRV, sa IRV? IRB is the amount of air that we can inhale after forcefully inhale additional air that we can inhale after forceful inspiration after normal inspiration. So with that, what will happen man? So as to it would be decrease. So why man decrease? Because ay kanang naa naman like naa na may air here like trap na ang air diri ba? Like there's trapping of air na, so dili na there will be less air to go inside volume. For a murag analogy for this guys kay never we're full like kay magmukbang ka or what or sa mukbang or samji or anything. Diba if like we're full na kay we tend not to eat more or consume more in our body like mo eat pata more sa food when we're full naman, so moraging ana sad somehow ang analogy ana, that's why decrease ang IRV for those kind of diseases. So kana siya um and what else man, so yep, RV is RV is de- decrease. So sa COPD, sa mga obstruction guys na mga lung diseases, what's the increase guys are IRV, also ERV if like NB or normal, whether said normal, and then the rest they are decreased, and even what's another hallmark of obstruction guys, it's another hallmark na kuan uh findings food that would be increase in kuan total lung capacity. Ana sila. Dira inyo if maglibog mo kanira if dili medyo minor ra man ni ish sa pagkuan, pero kani sila RV and TLC, these two they are increase in obstructive lung diseases. Why increase man ang TLC? Because hyperinflated man sila. Hyperinflated man ang ang mga alveoli, ang lung. So basically okay, mas daghan iya ma-hold. Mas daghan ang ma-hold na volume of air. So that's it. Mga na guys, yung COPD patients usually see barrel chest. Yeah, I think mentioned din sa Ana. I'm not sure. Natoy sa thorax na to sa mga clinical correlations na something nag-describe sa mga appearance sa mga chest asset to katong if ang usa ka ribs kay na basta na siya. There sa ato correlated. Pero barrel chest, more siya si Johnny Bravo. Like, walay indentations na gani na maklaro sa ato chest gani like kantahay sa pectoral and then paubo sa abdominal. Like, more siya I would or not like flat chested, like protruded siya. So on barrel chest, what's increased man? Is it the transverse diameter or the AP diameter? If we colorate it to ana, it would be the AP diameter. Increase like really markedly increase ang AP diameter sa anterior posterior diameter sa barrel chested patients compared sa ila transverse na diameter. Now for okay, now for restrictive, so unrestrictive, so for example fibrotic na ng mga fibrotic lungs or sarcoidosis, pwede sa acute respiratory distress syndrome, kana sila mga ARDS, fibrotic lungs, mga anak. So what happens is that like dili maka opposite of this, dili siya like for example, there's like fibrotic ni here, like there. So it's hardened. If this one is like a balloon, not easy, like maka-inflate siya. Oh my gosh, what kind of balloon is this? See, if this is a balloon, so like imagine na lang na on restrictive lung diseases, it looks like a tennis ball. How do you draw a tennis ball? Pero those ball balls used in sports na kanang dili na to makuan ba ma-inflate or what, like for example like tennis ball, diba? So dili man siya like gayon man na siya, so marging ana so kind of like sclerotic or fibrotic siya. So with that kind, like if nga nato lungs, it won't easily inflate. And so with that, tungod pa lang ana like um affected na ang kuan lung compliance, all those everything. Ang kuan na ang ano ra ani kay kuan siya decrease na siya tanan. Like yes, decrease everything. Inspiratory reserve volume, RV, tanan. Because of course, fibrotic man, so maglisod na og inspired. Because that's the main problem man sa restrictive. So walay masulod. Maglisod og inhale kana because so decrease na tanan sa kana siya. So and ang difference na lang nila guys like one ano na unsa pa man like one ano nila sa ratio na lang just to end everything sa ako chika kay ila ratio. So for FEV for the obstructive ano siya ang ratio ana kay di ba ana man na then FVC and kana siya. Also this one FEV1 and FVC. Now in the obstructive guys, is it increase or decrease? What do you think? It would be anong kuan. For obstructive, it would be decrease. Decrease. Kanira ang kalayan sa restrictive man kay siya ra ang increase. Kat niya, all other as mga volumes kay decrease na sila ang ratio ra ang increase sa restrictive kani siya decrease. Kay man when kani man unta kay nag decrease man dapat ni kay tanan good decrease. And then kani kay decrease pud ni sila duha actually is obstructive pero ngano kani siya kay ngano in the obstructive it is decrease man and for this one is it's increase. So oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So what happens here is that like proportionality of their decrease of these two. So for the obstructive, although both of them are decreased on this kind of pathologies, ano yung mga diseases, proportional ilaha, I mean, kaniday, sorry guys, increase or normal ni siya. Normal. Sorry. This one guys is kanang proportional ni sila. Proportional ang pag-decrease sa FEV1 and FVC on restrictive lung diseases. So with that, ma-cancel out ra. So ma-cancel out ra somehow. So mo nang usually normal and di ka like not really ano sa increase. Pero kana siya proportional ilaha pag ano, decrease sa each other. So if for example, si FEV1 mo increase, kind of the same amount would be decreased as well in FVC. However, in obstructive guys, markedly like grabe kayo ang decrease sa FEV1 compared sa FVC. That's why dili siya proportional. So disproportional, proportional mo nang decreased iyaha overall ratio na siya. Ano lang ang murag kuan. So kanang kuan so ano na lang just to review murag kind of ato i-memorize or what. So RV and PLC sa obstructive is those are the only one that's increased and then for restrictive everything is decreased except for its ratio which it can be normal or increased and for obstructive its ratio would be decreased. Yeah lang.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Chai. If we correlate it to our case, so basically, ang asthma there is obstructive, no? Since ang iyahang FEV1 over FVC is decreased man. Actually, 70, di ba?
For today, thanks Lesia. Ito 80 guys, 80 ang katong giingon ni Doc kaniha. So normal is 80%. So if lower na gani na siya, it's lower. It's like kind of pointing out to ano na siya, obstructive. Thanks Les. Yes, obstructive as
Okay, thank you very much for that, Chai. So, we'll proceed na ta sa third question. So, during exercise, how will the blood flow of the lungs change? So, any one of you can answer this? Or wala? Okay. So during exercise, actually, blood flow increases to all parts at our lungs. So it because our lungs tries to compensate for the high oxygen demand of our body through an increase ato ang cardiac output and at the same time ang pulmonary blood flow. So during any exercise, blood flows through the lungs daw mas mo-increase siya fourfold or sevenfold. So the pulmonary vessels at atong lungs, they will adapt to this demand of oxygen in three possible ways. So first, there will be an increasing number of capillaries na mag-open so that they can handle the higher flow of blood into our lungs. And then next, there will also be a distension. Mag-distend ang capillaries so that ma-reduce ang resistance and at the same time maka-accommodate siya o more blood. Then ang lastly, nasa a moderate increase sa pulmonary arterial pressure para with this there will be an improved matching of ventilation and at the same time perfusion throughout sa ato ang lungs. So that's basically how the blood will flow in our lungs. So next to that, mag-discuss ta kajud about alveolar ventilation. So anyone wants to talk about this like bits lang? Jill?
Yes, I can.
Mm.
So for the alveolar ventilation, so according to the discussion ganihan ni Doc, its ultimate importance of pulmonary ventilation is to renew the air in the gas exchange areas of the lungs continually where the air is in proximity to the pulmonary blood. So there are four areas katong na discuss ni Doc, the alveoli, alveolar sac, alveolar ducts, and the respiratory bronchioles. So the rate at which the new air reaches these areas are called the alveolar ventilation. So imagine our lungs na more siyag balloon katong gi-discuss kaniha ni Shai. Then there are more tiny balloons inside of the lungs which we call the alveoli. So the alveoli is where the gas exchange happens. So it is where the oxygen goes in and the carbon dioxide goes out. So basically katong diffusion na process. But not all the air that we breathe in reaches the alveoli. Some of it gets stuck in our nose, the throat, and the windpipe, and other areas. So in these areas, there's no gas exchange that happens. So that's what we call the dead space air. And I think this would be tackled later pa since it's also part of the learning outcomes. So the alveolar ventilation means how much fresh air actually reaches the alveoli every minute. So how is it important or why is it important? So the alveolar ventilation decides how much oxygen the blood gets. It also controls how much carbon dioxide we breathe out, so it keeps our body's pH balanced. It also so if the alveolar ventilation is low, there is a carbon dioxide buildup. So that is when a person feels tired, dizzy, or there's a shortness of breath. So otherwise, if too higher po ang alveolar ventilation, so we blow off too much carbon dioxide. So mo nang lightheaded which is shown in kanang hyperventilation. So yeah. So you can think of it as taking a huge breath, but if the air never reaches the alveoli, it's like pouring water into a bottle with cap on. So meaning dili makasulod ang water sa bottle because there's still a lid on it. So moving forward to the rate of alveolar ventilation. So the alveolar ventilation is the total volume of new air entering the alveoli and adjacent gas exchange areas each minute. So naa siya kanang formula. Ako mag-send lang ko og picture. I think pwede sa comment. Ay wait. Kaning sa ni messages day. Oh wow. Image. I don't know if masend ba siya. Wait. There. Ako anong handwriting, guys. Okay. So for the rate of alveolar ventilation, so to know how much air actually reaches our alveoli, we should use this formula. So let us first define the mga letters or unsay meaning aning VA, VT, VD, and F. So VA is what is our goals kung sa to i-get, which is the alveolar ventilation per minute. The VT is the tidal volume as discussed kaniha ni Shai. So it is the amount of air that we breathe in or breathe out in one breath. Sakto ba? Then for the VD, so it is the dead space. So it is the air that is stuck in the areas that I have discussed kanina, the nose, the throat, and other areas na walay gas exchange na mo happen. And for F is the frequency of or how many breaths per minute. So usually, the normal dead space air in a young man is about 150 ml, but the dead space can also slightly increase with age. So most likely the dead space is somewhat constant. So let us say that the tidal volume is 500 ml, and then we minus it with the dead space, which is 150. So we're gonna get 350. Then we multiply it with the average breath per minute, which ang given dera na naka-write is 12. So our alveolar ventilation per minute is 4,200 ml per minute. So that's about 4.2 liters of fresh air actually reaching the alveoli every minute. So I'll try in relation to the case, so the airway are narrow and inflamed, so there are less air that reaches the alveoli. So some parts of the lung gets air but others do not. This causes the uneven alveolar ventilation.
Okay, so since nag-talk naman siya about alveolar ventilation, let's also talk about na lang the dead space, which is included sa na-mention na ganina ni Drill. So basically, kaning dead space doesn't actually contribute to the gas exchange. Okay, unlike alveolar ventilation, which is more on the renewal of air in the gas exchange areas of our lungs, dead space is more like the volume of air that simply fills the respiratory passages. So, kani siya dead space is actually measured. So, there are actually two kinds, the anatomic dead space and the physiologic dead space. So, this anatomic dead space is the volume of air in the conducting airways. So, example, aning conducting airways is bronchi and aton trachea. So, kani siya, the air doesn't usually reach na sa ato ang alveoli. So no gas exchange takes place. So on the other hand, we also have physiologic na dead space, which is the sum of anatomic dead space and alveolar dead space. So ang inote na lang nato for this physiologic dead space is sum siya of anatomic and alveolar dead space. So na alveolar dead space dire. So this alveolar dead space pertains to the air na na-receive sa atong alveoli pero nag-lack of perfusion. So generally, in a healthy lungs, ang ato ang physiologic dead space is just nearly equal to ato ang anatomic dead space. Kay in a normal healthy lung, all alveoli man are normal and functioning. However, in cases wherein ang ato ang alveoli kay dysfunctional, so the physiological dead space will exceed it. Kay we should remember again nga sum siya sa alveolar dead space and at the anatomic dead space, and diri the alveoli are dysfunctional. I think that basically covers dead space na. So next, let's include na lang this last sa atong learning outcomes kaning describe basic lung defense and metabolic functions. Anyone wants to talk about this?
Hello. Ah, na ako'y ma-share gamay.
Wala kay
Ako'y mic.
voice.
Wait. Hello.
Wala.
Hello.